Before we get into it, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that bell icon so that you can be notified every time we put a financial tip video out or every time we put any video out that's going to help you understand how money works so that you can make it work for you. Did you know that 42% of Americans will retire broke? Two-thirds of Americans have no consistent savings plan or don't save at all. And about 40% of adults said they would not be able to cover a $400 unexpected expense with cash, meaning they'd have to resort to a credit card and the high interest debt that comes along with it. Why create a budget? Well, to get a grip on your spending. I know when we use the word budget, a lot of people think of just a boring life, no fun at all, austerity to the nth degree. Nothing could be further from the truth. You're going to get a grip on your spending by using a budget. And that in turn is going to help you save for the major life events such as retirement, educating a child, those experiences that you want to enjoy and get a lot of quality out of. A budget's going to help you save for that. Budget's also going to have you identify exactly where your hard-earned money goes each month. Now, you've had that month where you said, where did the money go? Well, a budget's going to help you answer that question and make smarter decisions as to how to make your money work harder for you. And a budget's going to help you avoid the debt trap. Now, we did a video all about eliminating debt. I'm going to link to it in the description. I want you to watch that video and I want you to understand what the debt trap is. Now, there are good forms of debt. Let's say, for example, you have an apartment building and the people who rent apartments from you, they pay their rent and that rent in turn pays your mortgage and provides you with some income as well. That's good debt. Now, what we need to do is find out where the money should go. That's step one. What you see here is a pie chart with the optimal allocation of the way you should budget your income. This chart is definitely adjustable for your specific situation. Let's say you're able to realize 24% living expenses because let's say maybe you don't have cable, you have streaming services, and instead of 26%, you have 24% here in the living expenses category, that being 24% of your income. So if you're able to reduce that, then you can take that 2% and put it in this category and increase your savings and investment by 2%, which would make you realize 17% on the savings and investment category, which is huge and it's going to make a big difference over the long term in your financial outlook. Now, again, these categories are optimal. You might have something slightly different, but you should try as hard as possible to increase this savings and investment category. Step two, gather information you need to get started. How much money is coming in and how much money is going out. So what you need to do is gather every financial statement you have, bank statements, investing accounts, all of it. Then note all your sources of income. Now, you might just have one source of income. Let me talk about that for a second. In these days and times when we're going through this corona event and a large portion of the economy is shut down and we've got 27 million people who are out of work as of the taping of this video. Those people, if they had an additional source of income, may be able to better weather this storm. So if you've got one source of income, that being your job, then think about establishing additional sources of income because you never know. This event and time in our history is a perfect example. You never know what might happen. And if you have multiple streams of income, then you're better able to weather these storms potentially than you would be if you just had one. But in any event, note all of your sources of income. Now you need to create a monthly list of all of your expenses, the mortgage, the car payment, the insurance, all of it, because this is going to tell us where the money is going. Now that you've gathered all of that information, what you need to do is chart it. So open up an Excel spreadsheet, or you can use Google Sheets, which is free, and create something that lists all of your expenses under these categories: home, utilities, transportation, insurance, debt payments, and you'll have a subtotal here. Then you can add to that with miscellaneous family purchases, personal care, pets, entertainment, and other. Step three, you need to know where the money goes. Now that you've created a list of your monthly expenses, separate your expenses into two categories. Those two categories are going to be fixed. Those are expenses that do not change: mortgage, car payment, for example, and then variable. Now, these are expenses such as groceries, gasoline, dining out, things of that nature. Those expenses do fluctuate. So you're going to categorize your expenses as fixed and variable. Step four, it's time to add it all up. Total up your monthly income, total up your monthly expenses. If the income is greater than the expense total, you're doing very good, because you can take that extra and put it toward your retirement savings or paying down debt sooner. If the expenses are greater than your income, it's going to be time to make some changes. Now, making these changes is not particularly glamorous, okay, if you have to cut back on dining out, for example, but just keep your end goal in mind, because that's going to be the really glamorous part, is when you're able to go out and do what you want to do with your money. And that's going to be really something that is going to make you feel really good when you achieve it. Now that you've got a list of all of the expenses, now it's time to make the cutbacks. So look at the variable expenses first: the gasoline, the dining out, and that sort of thing. And that's going to be the low hanging fruit, so to speak, that enables you to cut back. Okay, here we are. Step six, keep up the good work. You're going to have to maintain this. This is going to have to turn into a lifestyle, something sustainable. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to reach your goal. So now that you created a budget, make sure you review the budget monthly to ensure you're staying on track. And you want to take a few minutes to compare your actual monthly expenses with what you created in your budget. This is going to show you the areas in which you did well and those you may need to improve upon. So if your dining out budget starts to tick up away from the projection that you made in your budget, that's going to affect that pie chart that we saw earlier. That's going to affect the allocation of what you're able to do in terms of your saving and investment and paying yourself. So always keep an eye on that. And those are the 6 steps to creating a budget that's going to work for you and help you to create lasting change in your life and achieve your goals. As always, play to prosper and hit the subscribe button. I'll talk with you soon.